So here's what we got going on today. First of all, if you are a listener of the podcast, I do hope that this will be a pleasant surprise to see something a little bit different than just me sitting on a couch and talking. And then two, if this is your first time seeing me or seeing the channel, just know that I also do a podcast where I talk about pretty much anything and everything about the outdoors and how I feel that it's helped me with my mental health over the years. So yeah, it's called the Mountains Are Everywhere podcast. You might have known that by seeing the name of the channel, but it'd be cool if you check that out as well. So here's what's going on. I had brain surgery a month ago now, and I'm under some pretty tight restrictions on what I can and can't do. And one of those restrictions is I can't shoot my compound bow, mainly because I'm under lifting restrictions on how much weight I can lift, and it's less than the draw weight of my bow, so I can't shoot it. However, I have had this thing sitting around for 3 years now. There's a bow shop down in Oxnard here in California that was doing a raffle a long time ago, and I actually won this bow in that raffle. And since I've had it, it has it's been put up on my wall in my den, and I think I've used it like once. And really the problem was the string is very small diameter, and just the regular bow shop trad arrows I picked up had nocks for standard diameter string, I guess, and they didn't fit this string, and so I just didn't want to fool with it. I've never shot recurve, never been good at it, and I was always like, why shoot a recurve when I can shoot my compound? Well, now I can't shoot my compound, and here I am. I won't tell you that this is my first time doing it because I have been shooting for the last 2 days. And basically, I just want to kind of film my journey of going, through my recovery from surgery and getting back into shooting bows. And we're going to see how well I can learn to shoot a trad bow before I get back to shooting my compound. I am about, I said I had surgery a month ago, which means I'm still 2 months away from being able to shoot my compound. So I have 2 months to see how good I can get with this thing. And now I did outfit myself with a nice little hip quiver here the other day, so I don't have to carry my arrows around. And then I am shooting a finger tab that I got when I got the bows. I say bows, I actually won 2 bows in that raffle. This one is a 37-pound draw, and then I have a 50-pound draw as well. And so I'll probably graduate to that one at some point, but right now we're going to stick with the 37 because it's within the weight that I can handle with my restrictions, and it gives me something to do. I've been going absolutely nuts, not being able to hunt or shoot or anything like that. So I know it's a finger tab. It is made to shoot split finger, but I've been shooting it 3 under just because mainly whenever I try to shoot split finger, I always put too much pressure on my nock and it causes my arrow to come off the shelf. What I do know about trad is I think I'm trying to instinctive shoot. I might be doing a mix of the two where I kind of guess on how far I need to hold off depending on what range, like what yardage I'm shooting at. But when I'm holding off, I'll still pay attention to where my arrow tip is pointing. That way, every time I shoot at that distance, I know that I'm holding off about as far as I'm supposed to. So I don't know if they call that gap shooting, consider that gap shooting, or if that's instinctive shooting. But that's what it is. And then I'm trying to, I don't know what else I'm trying to do. I'll try to talk through it as I go. But the goal here today is just see how well I can shoot at 20 and 30. And then I might go to 40. And then I might try and shoot a couple of 3D targets as well. But anyways, here we go. Cold bore. First group of the day. Let's see what we can do here. I will say, My shoulder is a bit sore from getting back into shooting, and so are my fingers, because even though there's, I'm shooting a finger tab, it's not very thick, and it's definitely got my fingers pretty sore right now. I do camp my bow a little bit when I shoot. I don't know if that's right or wrong. And then all you people that do know how to do this, feel free to get down in the comments and tell me what you see that I'm doing wrong or right or whatever. Not starting out too good, that's for sure. I definitely need to get myself an arm guard, that's for sure. This thing's pretty loud too. I don't know what it's going to sound like on the mic, but I definitely am thinking about getting some string silencers put on it. Not that I'm going to, maybe I'll hunt with it in the way long, far ahead future, but it's still, just put them on there so it's not so loud. I do notice that my shooting is better when, it kind of goes back to compound and trying to surprise shoot. Whenever I'm really focused on where my arrow is pointing, I'm more likely to just let my fingers go than when I'm focused on just pulling through the shot, just like you would with a compound. Like that right there. I mean, I didn't hit center, but my elevation was way better, and I just, pulled straight through on that. All right. That's the first group. I'll show you guys how bad that is, and then hopefully we'll improve. All right, so this right here is first group of the day. Obviously, very, very bad, but again, I'm brand new to trad, and so these two on the bottom are my first two shots. And then I always notice it's like in between my rounds, or as I'm starting a new round, usually my first shot is always low. And so I don't know if that has to do with just forgetting my reference point of aiming from the last round or what. Where did I put my finger tab? There's my finger tab. I usually put it right here. But yeah, I don't know if that's just me forgetting my reference point from the first round or what, but first shot usually always goes low. This was that shot where I said it felt good because I focused on pulling through. Again, not center, but elevation was really good. And then that whole right and left situation is, from what I have watched on YouTube, probably has to do with me not getting the arrow centered underneath my eye. So I did watch a little bit of, I believe his name is Clay Hayes. I watched a little bit of Clay Hayes yesterday. Okay, hopefully this will be a semi-decent angle. You'll guys be able to see what I'm doing here. Still learning camera settings and whatnot. I finally figured out to dial up my, I think it's called an aperture, so that everything's not so washed out. Generally I would run in the past full auto on the settings, but I've learned that going manual and actually learning how to set the settings will usually result in better quality. But anyways, see if I can not shoot this one low, my first shot of the round. It's not as low as it normally goes. I bet this bow is absolutely deafening to listen to on the mics. Yeah, it's a little better. I think another problem I have is I just shoot way too fast, and then I don't pay attention to what I'm doing either, so I don't know exactly what it was that I did right or wrong on one of my shots. That was smoke. That was perfect. The problem is doing that 2 times in a row. I went way high. Maybe later on I'll feel brave enough to set my camera actually down at the target so you guys can see the arrows coming in. That one felt pretty good, mechanics wise. I still don't think I got my arrow centered underneath my eye like I'm supposed to. Definitely got to invest in the arm guard. I don't know if it's like, if I'm doing everything right, I shouldn't be hitting my arm, or if it's inevitable that I'm going to hit my arm, because I do notice that pretty much everybody I see on YouTube shooting trad, no matter how good they are, it seems like they're wearing an arm guard. All right, so that's second group of the day. Again, first shot, generally low. Still not a good group. Did close it up from the last one. That was that one shot that was just absolutely perfect. Fell perfect, flew perfect. Just wasn't able to replicate it. And that's the thing, is especially with how I said I shoot too fast. If you're gonna be good at archery, and I feel like I'm learning this faster with trad than I did with compound, but it's the same with both. If you're gonna be good, you've got to be consistent. And in order to be consistent, you have to know what it is that you're doing in the shot. That way, you know what you did to make the shot go right or what you did to make the shot go wrong. And then that's how you build your shot process. And if I'm shooting too fast, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, can't get consistent. I would even, I don't know, again, I don't know what I'm talking about with archery in general, but I would almost argue how much more important and more difficult to achieve consistency is with trad, because with a compound, you get your draw length set and you roll over your cams and your draw length is going to be the same every time. With this one, unless you have a consistent anchor point, you could potentially be drawing back further or not as far each time. You're basically, if you don't draw the bow back to the same spot every time, you're giving, there's a difference in the energy that you're applying to the arrow, and you're going to have a lot of inconsistency in your arrow flight. I just rambled, and that's a problem with social media. You give any idiot that thinks he has an idea a platform to talk about something he has no idea what he's talking about. And that's not a hate towards anybody but me, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That one's pretty good. That was terrible. Holy smokes. And this thing says 37 at 28 inches. I've got to guess that I'm drawing it a little bit over 28 every time. But I do notice when I don't make it back, I try to get my pointer finger to the corner of my mouth, the anchor. And I definitely notice when I don't hit my anchor point, because I'll let go early and I'll pop myself in my bottom lip every time. And then I'll get really mad. Well, not good. Not bad, not good. I'll probably say it a million times to the point where y'all tell me to shut up, but ultimately I know my problem is that I just go too fast. Again, I don't pay attention to what I did right, what I did wrong. I had 2 pretty decent shots on that one. And then I did something similar twice here and something similar twice here. So there's consistency somewhere. I just have to slow down and pay attention to what it is. All right, here we go. Nope, that's about right. That's usually where my first shots always go. That time I know for a fact I drew back further than I did on the first shot. I pulled through. That one felt good. I don't think I was aware of my arrow tip on that shot. Glad I got that on camera. So that time, I got anchored to the corner of my mouth, pulled through my shot, and I was aware of where my arrow was aiming on that one. If that's the case, if that's what I'm doing, if I'm being aware of where the arrow is aiming, I guess that's not quite instinctive shooting. I don't know. Somebody tell me. So this one, like I've said every time, first shot low, usually left. These two I was trying to, or at least this one right here, I was trying to say stuff out loud, and honestly probably just wasn't paying much attention to what I was doing. These two felt the best. As far as my anchor was good. Felt like I got the arrow underneath or in line with my eyeball and then pulled through the shot. Still, as a grouping, not good, but getting closer to the center. Starting to feel a little bit better. Hopefully you guys kind of like something different than just the regular podcast videos. One thing I've been concerning myself with is I shouldn't be. At the same time, I want the podcast to grow because I'd like for it to, the idea of improving your mental health by being outdoors, I want that idea to spread. So I want more people to know about the podcast. But one, I felt like most people that have successful podcasts have come from some other form of notoriety. I feel like it's kind of difficult to try and build a podcast from the ground up. Mainly because generally the podcast has to do with whatever that person was into prior, and so they have credibility, and then it's just hard to build no credibility. So partially what I'm hoping is that you guys see me doing videos of actually being out shooting bows or doing the kind of stuff that I talk about on the podcast. It'll build a little bit of credibility, and then hopefully in turn the videos do well, the podcast grows too. I will say, see, this is a problem. This is why I got to learn how to use the camera, because it's totally washed out in the back. I feel like my lighting's good, but back there you guys are probably just blinded. I don't know. But what I will say, one thing I totally had planned to do is I really wanted to start filming a lot of my hunts, self-filming and then filming friends. Number one, the area that we hunt, or that I have hunted for the last 4 years, is closed for a while now. And two, I just obviously had brain surgery, and so I'm, again, pretty restricted on what I can do. So I probably wouldn't be able to do much hunting anyways, even if we could. I would probably still try, and then my wife would yell at me. But I wanted to film a lot of hunts and then kind of build credibility that way, which I still fully intend to do in the future. Until I can do that, I'm out here doing this. All right. Am I blocking the target? I don't know. It's another thing too, is I can't get better with a camera unless I'm out here doing something with a camera. So it's another good reason to be out here. That one felt good, except for the arrow slapping my wrist, because I didn't bend my elbow. Did I say arrow? I meant string. The string slapped my wrist. So that time, I bent my elbow, which means I had less draw length than the first shot, and it went way low. That one I aimed at the same place, had a little more draw length, it went high. I guess the issue now is if I'm bending my elbow, how do I make sure I bend it the same amount every time? That was plate. Felt good. Got anchored good. Aimed. Pulled through. Not bad. That one went way left. Now I'm going to stop trying to talk your guys' ear off. I'm just going to shoot. Probably better for you and better for me. One thing they did tell me at the bow shop is that this bow was a little bit warped. It hadn't been strung up in a long time, and I do believe that I've kept the string on it for 2 days now, and I think it has fixed it a little bit. But when I look down the bow, it still does look like there's a little bit of torque or whatever in the bottom limb. So a tip he gave me, I think I'm gonna try it, is take a heat gun and just heat it, warm up that bottom limb to the touch, and then keep it strung up, and it might take that warped memory out of it, hopefully. See, sometimes, man, I just pull it back and send it, and it feels so good. And I just missed the top of the plate, but the arrow flew straight. Looked good. And then there's that one that went 9 miles to the left. Is it annoying to just watch YouTube videos of people shooting bows and they won't stop talking? Maybe it's because it's my first one and I'm trying to give you guys all this background on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And then when I make more in the future, I'll just shut up and shoot. Here's what I am going to do. So I had this one arrow that I buried into the leg of a 3D target yesterday, and it caught the rebar and totally blunted my field point. And when I pulled this one out, I noticed it's the one that flew way left on me. So I'm going to shoot this one first, see if it goes way left again. I doubt it will. I guarantee that it's not me, but, you know. Create a hypothesis and test it, right? Something like that, scientific method. I don't know. No, that was perfect. I hit the plate. So, told you it was me. Hypothesis disproven. That it was not the arrow. Or that the hypothesis that the arrow was the problem. Scientific method proves I was the problem. The thing with these is, like, am I supposed to hold at full draw until I'm, like, aimed and stuff? I don't know. I feel like I'm aiming as I'm drawing, and then when I hit that anchor point, set it in, and then I just keep pulling through. Versus holding it full draw until I feel like I got my arrow where I want it, and then pull through. I don't know what's right and what's wrong right now. Totally botched that one. I had a really good group going there until that shot. Definitely tighter. Not fantastic. Obviously, I'd like to have 6 arrows right there in that plate, but that one felt good. I'm gonna leave the camera down here for a few rounds and then see what we can do about moving out to 30. Best group of the day. All right, this is gonna be my first group of the day at 30, but I will do my best. First few shots, probably the whole first group is gonna be trying to figure out my hold off. Okay. Okay. See if I can repeat. I cannot. Yikes. Obviously, got some work to do there. All right. All right, here we go. Round number 2 at 30. So what I did different on these two closest to the plate is most of the time that I've been shooting, I try to keep like, I don't know the best way to show you guys this. This is upside down, but this is my finger tab here. And I've been trying to get really, really close to the end. So just kind of like the fingerprints of my fingers are on the string. And then those last 2 shots, I wrapped my hand a little bit further around the string so that I was more so at the first knuckle than I was on the pads. And again, could just be coincidence, but those were definitely my 2 good shots. I've got no answers for that one though. That one went right with it, didn't it? But they still group together, and like I said, I definitely think my issue with those 2 were my aim. So there's still a potential that it's coincidence. So I'm gonna keep doing it and see what my results are. But I think that slight change of my string hand and where I'm letting the string sit on my fingers or on the tab, I think that might be somewhat of a difference there, difference maker. So I'm gonna shoot this deer at 40, probably 2 rounds, because the first round I'm gonna have to find my distance, and then after that we'll hit the 3D course. I'm going for the deer here again. Probably shoot 2 rounds because the first one I'm gonna be trying to find my distance, unless I kill it on the first shot, in which case it was totally on purpose. And of course the wind is real nice and gusty before I try this. Come on, dude, shut up and shoot. Shut up and shoot. Here we go. All right, right under his neck. Okay. I think I just killed a deer, boys. Except for the fact I'm shooting a 37-pound bow from 40 yards, and that arrow probably bounced off of him. What the? Well, I was doing okay. Well, I think I did okay. I had something good going there for a minute, and then somehow I ruined it, but I got really excited there. I was like, man, maybe I'm only shooting 1 round at 40 because that's going to be so good. I got it in my own head. That one would have killed him, I'm pretty sure. This one, unless I was shooting a big old thug nasty broadhead, I don't know how that one would have done. Left and right was perfect. Just low. That one's gut shot. All right, I went and grabbed my dead cat because the wind's picking up. It's blowing right in my face, so hopefully the audio up to this point isn't too distorted. And I've got you guys zoomed in on the target, so maybe you can see me hit a good shot here. I decided to take a few more at the deer at 40. That one was way back. Holy smokes. Wrecked his manhood on that one. That one hit the top of the neck. All right. So as promised, we're gonna finish off here at this little bear target on a 3D range. I don't have my rangefinder. Normally we shoot this with compounds, so I'm back at 45. I think this is about 15. I'm not totally sure. I tried to step it off from our 30 marker and it seems to be about somewhere between 15 to 17, I guess. And this is where we're gonna finish. I don't think I quite got anchored on that one. Tried to go too fast. See what we ended up with. I would think at least 3 of those would have got them. I don't know. 2 of them for sure. Maybe 3. Maybe even 4. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I feel pretty confident. This one, no doubt. This one, maybe. This one, probably. I think bears have pretty big lungs. And from what I've heard, you're supposed to shoot them closer towards mid-body. So I think this one would have done it. This one, maybe. This one, I don't think so. Well, that's my first miss on this target today. Second miss, back to back. Yikes. All right, so I guess this right here is probably where I'm gonna end this video. I guess I've bored you guys long enough. Obviously, even if I decided to, I would not be hunting with this thing for very long. But the more that I shoot it, the more it's definitely intriguing me to try and hunt with it. But regardless of that, I honestly forgot how much fun it was just to learn something new and to see how much better I've gotten even since I just started 3 days ago. 3 days ago at 15 yards, I might have been able to hit 1 out of 6. And with the exception of that last group before this one, I'm pretty consistently hitting 6 out of 6 on this thing at 15 now. And even killing them with a few of them. So again, it's been really fun. And if you've stuck around this long, I do really appreciate it. Again, hopefully you guys that have been following the podcast appreciate something a little different. This is my first long form video that's not a podcast. So maybe not what you expected, but hopefully you enjoy it a little bit. It's what I can do right now. Again, I'm still in recovery and I'm so excited to have something to get outside and do now. So hopefully you'll follow along. I'm going to try to film more of my journey of shooting with a recurve. Again, I've got 2 more months to do it. I'd say my overall goal right now, besides obviously shrinking my groups, is I want to be able to shoot our 20 target 3D course here from, we'll say, maybe 40 yards. We've got some 60 and 70 yard targets that I don't think I'd be hitting consistently, but maybe I throw a pop shot up at it. But yeah, big goal is to be able to shoot this 3D course, maybe in the course of a month with this thing. And then I didn't think I'd be shooting at Bow Disciples Challenge this year. I definitely intend to go, but I didn't figure I'd be shooting. But now I feel like a window is opened that I might be able to shoot it. So if you are going to Bow Disciples Challenge this year, maybe you'll see me carrying a recurve, who knows. Regardless, thanks for sticking around. Again, if you're new to the channel, I do a podcast. Appreciate if you guys check that out. And then, as always, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things that promotes my channel and helps it reach a larger audience. That is a huge goal of mine. So thank you for being here for this. Hopefully you'll be here for the next one. Keep climbing, and I'll see you then.